Hello everybody. Guess what I've been doing since we last connected? Yes, I've been busy. I have whipped up so many pairs of earrings and a couple of pendants as well, and I've made 4 bracelets, and I did a charm bracelet. So this one has got lots of sea creatures on here. So I would have shown you these charms in the last video. So we've got shells, crab claws, there's turtle. And I love this, is one of my favorites, this little whale here. So I have been very, very busy, and the bracelet that I said I was going to make, I did. Just get these other ones out of the way. So I ended up putting all of them onto a chain. So I went straight down to Spotlight and I bought so much chain, and then I ended up getting a pair of these and this box full of little tools and clips and things. So in this one I can get, look at all these different things in here. So these are all the earring hooks that I got, and it was just a matter of, see how there's a little hoop there, and then we've got all these little like lugs, these little round lugs. So it was just a matter of getting the pliers and opening up these little tiny pieces and threading it onto the earring hook, and then putting the charms on. So I've had a great deal of fun with those. I have, you can see here, these little hoops that came in the box, and they're really, really easy. They just open up like that and close. And so you can just simply thread a heap of beads or anything that you want onto those. So that's what I've done here. I've made just some nice coloured hoops. And excuse me, I'm just going to close this door. It's going to bang. All good. And then also you can get these in the box. Of these little hooks that I use on the bracelet. So I just use these little ones here, and they just simply hook on with one of these, and then just hooking on the clasp and attaching it to a chain. So which is what I've done with these. So this pendant, I just pop, remember these shells that I was showing you? So I just simply had to put one of those lugs on to hold the charm on, and then just attaching another one of those and another one at this end, and then attaching the clasp. So I've been very, very busy, as you can see. So I've made a few the pieces that can be sets. these turned out beautifully, these earrings. I'm so happy. As soon as I put those on the hooks, I just thought they were so pretty. So I've got a couple of pairs of those. How do you like my makeshift jewellery stand? A piece of cardboard with some pins. I'm going to order some nice jewellery stands. And then remember all these that came that I thought that I didn't order, but I'm glad that they came in because they've made some beautiful. I've got some lovely earrings. And they were just so much fun to make. So that's one with all the shells. And then this one, pair of those, remember the ones with the dolphin? And then the little dolphin up the top and the bigger dolphin down the bottom. So it's about the only silver jewellery that I have, but I've done another order yesterday, and I've ordered a whole heap of silver stuff. So, but these ones, they're the ones with the ocean waves on the corner, on the sides there. Looks like a little bit of coral on the side there. And the trick with these, I discovered after the first pair that I made, is you've got to have a right pair and a left pair. I mean a right earring and a left earring. Because when you put them on, you want the pattern to be on the outside. So the left earring has to be with the pattern on the outside, and then the right side earring has to have the pattern on the other side. So as you can see, so there's the pattern that goes on the outside of your right ear. That's the pattern one for the left ear. And so it's very important to make sure that they're both not facing the same way. So that was a little something that I learned in my jewellery making venture. So I'll just pop those back there. But what I've really enjoyed making have been these bracelets. Oops, I just popped that around the other way. Oh, these earrings came up beautifully as well. It's another nice pair. And they're just such a nice weight as well. They're not heavy, but they've got a little bit of weight to them. And, you know, that's like a set. You can wear the pendant with the earrings. But I've absolutely loved making these bracelets. Now, please forgive me if I get this wrong. Is it Rachel that was talking about a navy, white and gold bracelet? Oh, Rachel, I had yesterday made a pair of earrings. I thought I made them with white, but they were just the gold and the navy. But I did actually whip up a bracelet. So let's pop that on. So I'll make a few different designs, but that's one that I came up with when I got your comment there. So Rachel, thank you for the idea of navy, white and gold. I didn't want to do one to match these earrings. So that one was the first bracelet I made. And then this one, I decided to use one of the charms. So I popped a little whale tail on there. That's so pretty. And my daughter wants me to make her one of these, but with a turtle. So that's what we're going to make today. We're going to make that together. And then I just made one with some just plain blue and white, just with the turtle. Got a starfish, another turtle, another starfish, and then just the round beads in between. And then, so I made that this morning, and I also made this one this morning as well. That one there, just thought was very pretty colours. I know a lot of people like turquoise and white, so I've ordered some silver beads as well, so I can do ones like this with silver. They're just so much fun. They just dress up whatever you're wearing. I mean, you can make them in so many colours. But that goes quite nice with my, yes, I quite like that. That goes well. I might just wear that one. Okay, so now we're going to make a bracelet. So, the bracelet that we're going to make is for my daughter. So I took a photo of this bracelet today, and I sent that to her. So we're going to make one together, just like this one. But as I mentioned before, she wants to have the turtle. So I've got, now I ended up buying some more of this rubbery string. This stuff is magnificently stretchy, which you really need to make these kinds of bracelets because they need to stretch. So I purchased from Spotlight some rolls of different colour thread, and it was actually more cost effective to buy a whole pack of coloured ones than it was to buy a roll of just plain white. And I thought, well, you don't really see the elastic anyway. But today, for my daughter's, Ashley is her name, I think I've mentioned that before, I'm going to use the blue, I think. That pink's so pretty, I like that. Yellow. Green. Blue. The last one. That's a pretty purple. I love pink and purple. So just have to get inside this. Here we go. Now I have found that it's a lot easier, so that I don't lose all my beads after I've thread them. It's easier to leave them on the reel. That's kind of not coming out any further than that, but I shouldn't need any more than that. That's quite a different stretch to this one. This one's a lot stretchier. Do you know, I might just use this one for this today until I work out how to completely unravel all this, because it's kind of put in there like fishing line, but it's still tied up in here, so I'm not going to waste time trying to get inside that. So I'm going to use the white because I know this works and I know it's strong. Okay, so in my little trusty bead box. Oh, another thing too is I watched a video on how you can actually thread the beads on with a threader. I have ordered some threaders, but they look a bit like this, but these threaders are only short, so you could probably only do maybe earrings or something with those, so you've got the little hook on the end. But I have found it no problem at all to just sit and cross my legs on the lounge and relax and string together a few items of jewellery. Did I mention how much fun I'm having doing this? I think I did. Oh, excuse me. Okay. See this? Look, I've used practically all of those shells. Remember these shells that I showed you in the other video? So I've got enough left for another pair of earrings and probably another pendant. And this is the chain, bit of the chain that I bought. Oh, I told you I was going to make something out of these as well. And I did. I made some earrings. Don't know if I showed these to you, if you saw them. So I did make a pair of earrings. We just, so I made a pair of earrings out of those. Nice Japanesey looking minty green, so they're quite pretty. Whoops. Put that back up there. Okay, now, so the colours that we're using are these lovely light pale blue and white stripe, and we're using the white bead and we're using the gold as well. And for Ashley, we're going to add this little gold guy, little turtle there. Okay, so let's begin. Now, it's very hot up here today in the wet Sundays. It's 32, I think 32 it's supposed to get to today. And it's already starting to feel a little bit like that at the moment. But I have resisted turning on the air conditioning. I'm trying very hard to resist, and fortunately I am on a bottom floor, ground floor unit, because for me to turn my air conditioning on, that's going to make it hotter for the people upstairs as well, and they already have it hot because they're on the top floor and they're getting the heat. So I have been just running my ceiling fans, and I have found that that is all that I've needed, and I run those at night time as well. I am one of those strange people that has to have a fan on no matter what the weather is. And yes, it's all about the white noise. But as I've discovered over the years, I'm not the only silly person that has to have a fan on. I have since learned that it's quite a common thing. And I've got to tell you, how long have I been here now? Must be, it's 7 weeks. 7 weeks on Monday. No, it's 2 months. Yes, actually 2 months on Monday. And in that 2 months, there have been 2 blackouts, power blackouts here. So 2 parts of Airlie Beach have had blackouts, and of course, as soon as the power goes out, my fan goes off, and I'm very much awake. So I got up out of bed. This would have happened at about 10:30 at night. And I got up out of bed, I lit some candles, and I thought, well, okay, this is going to last, I think, for a few hours. So I had enough charge on my phone that I was able to, sorry, I've just got to count how many I'm doing. I think I'll do 7. Yes, I had enough charge on my phone that I was able to just check and see where the outage, how far it ranged, and whether any technicians were out, addressing it. So yes, it did identify the outage, and of course when I went outside I could see that everybody else's lights were out, and mind you, everyone would have been in bed. But I went and sat outside, and the sounds of the night were incredible up here. We have birds called curlews, and they make such a loud sound at night time. And I thought, gosh, I've never heard this, because I've got the fan going in my head, in my face at night. And so I quite enjoyed sitting out there just listening to the sounds, and even though I couldn't have fans on and it was quite warm that night, there was a nice breeze as I was sitting outside. So that lasted for about 2 hours. But then after the second blackout, which didn't directly affect me this time, but it did in the next little suburb, which is just 10 minutes away from me, called Cannon Vale, and they'd completely lost power. And so I decided that I was going to purchase a power bank so that I could still charge my phone, and I wanted to be able to also use a fan when the power goes out. So I went down to Big W. So I was going to go to Harvey Norman, which is one of our electrical stores here. They also sell furniture and whatnot. And I thought I won't go into Harvey Norman because I know that they will charge me an arm and a leg for a power bank. And so I went into Big W, and I did Google previously, just trying to get this one up. I did Google previously about the wattage, how much power I would need to actually be able to operate my fan. And it turned out that I needed 20,000 kilowatts or watts, something like that. And so I went down to Big W, and I tell you what, this guy in there, where he was probably in his 20s, bless him, I've seen him before and he's very sweet. But he didn't have a clue what I was talking about as far as wanting one that was strong enough to operate a fan. And but he was honest in admitting that I'm sorry, I just don't really know how to help you. So I thought, well, I'll go over to boating, camping and fishing, see if I can get one there, because they'll no doubt have quite a heavy duty one that I can use. And so I ventured over there, and wouldn't you know, they were closed. They were doing some renovations. And they directed me, there was a store person in there who directed me over to Anaconda, which is another camping place. So they had some really good heavy duty power banks in there, ranging from $35 all the way up to $300. So apparently I only needed one that was worth $80 or $79.95. That would be all I needed. So I was about ready to purchase that, and then I said, oh, how do I charge my fan though? And I said, I need a fan that has a USB port. Do you have any? Well, they'd sold out. They didn't have any fans at all. So I had to kind of banish that idea. And so I rang Bunnings as well. They didn't have any. They were all sold out of USB fans, and even the fans that you can charge in your car on a cigarette lighter, they didn't have any of those left either. So I just thought, well, I'll just have to leave it. I'll have to order something online. And then, lo and behold, one of the storekeepers, who I wasn't dealing with at all, had come up to me and said, we actually have fans here that you can charge on your electricity charger, and then the battery will last you for about 6 to 8 hours. And I thought, that's all I needed in the first place. I have spent so much time running around looking for the right power bank and the right fan, and this lovely fellow just fixed the entire problem for me. So I thanked him very much. That contraption cost $79, and I've got it all charged up and just waiting for the next blackout. Tell you what, I've kept the fan off. I'm just going to pause the video and turn the air conditioning on. It is very hot. Won't be a moment. There we go. I've just got that on a little bit. I hope that's not going to be noisy. It shouldn't be. It's just so hot. So that's coming together nicely. So I'll put the little turtle charm on soon. And so I'm just waiting for the next blackout now. I'm all set to go, and you watch, there won't be one. Actually, yes, there will be. We're coming into cyclone season very soon, and we're also coming into stinger season. So we've got all the jellyfish, the Iranganji jellyfish. So they're making their way into the waters next month. So any snorkeling trips will be done with a wetsuit on. A couple of subscribers have mentioned Big George, who's one of the great big fish that people get to see, some people get to see when they snorkel. up around the reefs, and I didn't get to see him I've done 2 snorkeling trips since I've been, well, one on the holiday when I came up, and then I've been out once since I've moved here, and I still haven't spotted him. So I have to go out, suit up and go out and see if I can spot him. But I have taken up outrigging, so I've joined the Whitsunday Outriggers Club, and I'm enjoying that immensely. We paddle most days. I paddle twice a week. I do Friday, or at the moment I'm doing Friday afternoons at 4:30, and by the time we get all the outriggers into the water, which is usually anywhere from 2 to 4, they're very, very heavy. So once we get them in the water and get going, it's usually about 5 o'clock. And so I usually like to get there a little bit earlier and give them a hand to set up. These outriggers, they take 6 of us, so we have 5 of us paddling, and there's 1 steering at the back. And I'm just going to stop a minute, not lose my train of thought. Now I've got to put this, yes, I think it's time to put that little turtle on. So I've gone gold, white, no, just go gold, yeah, go gold, white, and then gold. Yeah, so anyway, I've got to go. I'm paddling this afternoon or this evening, and I've got to tell you, I wish I could show you the photos of the sunset as we're paddling back home. That sunset is just so pretty. And I also go Saturday mornings at 6:30 in the morning, and the sun has already risen, but the sun on the water is just like diamonds, just glistening. And I decided that this is something that I'm going to continue to do as I get older and older. We've got a lady, we've got all ages, but we've got a lady down there, and she's 73. She is amazing. Anyway, she's a little bit on the larger side, with a large chest, and the relevance of that point I'll get to is that 3 times a year we have to do what's called a Hooli test. Now, when I outrigger Hoolies, Huli, it's basically tipped over, and so we have to learn how to do a Huli and get back into the boat, bail out all of the water and start paddling again. Because if you Huli during a race, the quicker we can get that back uprighted, the sooner you get back in the race. So it's compulsory to do 3 Huli tests per year, and I've got to do mine tomorrow. And I was a little bit nervous, like I could have done it last Saturday because they encouraged us to do it before stinger season starts, because I don't want to be in the water with the stingers, and I certainly don't want to be wearing a wetsuit or a stinger suit when I'm paddling. So I've opted to do mine tomorrow, and they just say, you know, Lisa, just go with the boat, just relax. When it tips over, just hang on to your paddle. You've got to put your hand on the top of your head so that the aku, which is the two arms that hold the armour at the side, you know, that little paddle, so you've got your canoe here, two akus, and then you've got the little float here. So when this boat goes over, we have to tip out, holding on to the top of our head, just a hand on the head so those akus don't hit us in the head, and also holding on to the paddle. And then we've got to climb back in. Now, the point that I was making with this lovely lady, this lovely mature age lady, she was trying to get back in the boat, and oh my gosh, she was laughing so hard that she just was not able to get the strength. And then she kept saying, it's my ruddy boobs that are getting in the way. And she finally got herself back into the boat, and she just flopped her legs out one end and her arms out the other. She just goes, I'm not moving. Oh, she's such a character. So I hope she's there tomorrow. But apparently once you do your first hoolie, you want to keep doing it again and again. But they say that about skydiving too, and I'm quite happy to stay on the ground. As so many people say, I don't see the sense in jumping out of a perfectly good aeroplane. Oh, come back here. I tell you what, I had to vacuum yesterday. All I kept hearing was clink, 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 clink. I have dropped so many of these beads, and so I can retrieve them out of the vacuum cleaner bag. Okay, so I've just got to come halfway up the other side, and we're finished. So I've had some beautiful comments from some of you regarding having a letterbox where people can send me lovely cards and things like that. I am so appreciative and grateful to all of you who, you know, want to support me in that way. And had the lovely Donna, you know, suggest a long time ago to me about doing a Patreon. And you know, I've got to say, I've just kind of felt a little bit funny about donations and things like that. I mean, I get such a kick out of just reading the comments and just knowing that what I'm get on there, that what I'm doing is helping people relax. And you know, that's the whole objective to being an ASMR creator, or anything to do with relaxation, is just that. And you know, I have some beautiful comments regarding, you know, children that are not able to sleep. One of my lovely subscribers, you know, she mentioned to me that her son had a good night's sleep after not being able to fall asleep. He has a bit of autism, and So yeah, I really feel for her. That would be very challenging sometimes to encourage sleep. So it's those sorts of things that just make me feel like I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing it for the right reasons. But look, I will look into doing that. It's going to cost me a bit each year for a PO box. So I'm just going to see even if I can find a different avenue. But look, I just want to say thank you all so much. It just means the world to me. And if anybody also, as I said, like Rachel was looking for a particular bracelet, and another lovely lady mentioned she'd like to buy something. Now, with this jewellery, I'm very happy, to make this available to anybody who'd like to purchase anything. And I'm just working on how to set it up with my YouTube, and I have to maybe do I don't know whether to do a Shopify store and link that, and then I have to link PayPal and all that sort of thing. So look, I will look into it, but if anybody is interested and you want to request something in the comments, I'll make it and we'll work out something. If anyone's got any suggestions on how I might go about doing this, I'm completely open as well. Because I'm not a tech-savvy lady, as you can probably tell. I still don't even do end screens. I just hit the stop button. I'll get there eventually, but the beautiful heartfelt comments about how my channel is growing, well, that's all due to you, all of you, and so I think you all deserve something as well, which is why I just want to keep creating as long as I can. The only reason I say as long as I can, I've been reading so much and hearing so much lately here in Australia about the fact that we will need to have digital ID to access our social media accounts. Now, I don't have any issue at all with saying goodbye to Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. What's the other one? Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account. But I am concerned about perhaps they might shut me down. Any creators that don't comply may very well be not able to create. So I'm just going to keep my eyes and ears open with regards to that awful tyranny that they're still continually trying to control us with. They've been trying to push digital ID onto us, not greatly, not as much as some other countries. I know the UK, I believe, are getting quite... I know there's a few of you here from the UK. I'd be interested to see how you're going, but I can tell you right now, I won't be doing it. I won't comply with any of this nonsense. Okay, so I think I need to go a bit bigger. Yes. I'm going to, I think, because that's right in the middle now, 3 on each side. That will be too small, so I'm going to go another row, I think, on each side like that. So I want to make sure it's not too... So what I'll do is I'll cut this end And I'm just going to cut that end and don't want to make it too big because she's got quite small wrists like I do. Oh, that's another thing too. If anybody wants a bracelet like I make them, this is like just a standard size. But if it needs to be any bigger, just let me know. Or smaller. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to be happening with all of that, but I'm hoping that it won't affect any of these sorts of, I mean, gosh, is YouTube classed as social media? It's not like Facebook, but I guess it is. Been expecting something like this for a while now, but and yes, I'm one of those people that uses cash. I'm very excited when I see people of all ages using cash. But look, we've all just got to get through in our own way, how we see fit. There, I'm just about. So I think because I'm going to join that together pretty soon. Don't want it to get too big. I'm going to do gold. I hope this is relaxing everybody. It's certainly relaxing me. I am completely hooked, as I guess you can tell by the amount of jewellery that I've made in the last few days. So I've ordered a whole heap of silver stuff so that everything will be in silver also. I'm just going to put, no, that would be better because I want to have a gold one in between that and that. Now I think that is big enough. And the little turtle on there. Yes. Let me just tie that. Let's see. So that charm will be at the bottom. Do you know, I think I'm just going to add a couple more. Just want to make sure that it's going to be exactly right. Actually, that's so balanced now. No, I think that's perfect. I do. Because I know she'll want to wear it right round this part of her wrist. So we do one, then we do a surgeon's knot. 1, 2, and pull. And done. And there it is. There's another bracelet with the little charm. So I can hang that up on my collection. And that's just been so therapeutic. I hope you all really enjoyed that. I I'm going to continue to keep making things, so I've got another order coming next week with some silver things, so I will endeavour to make some more. But until then, stay safe and stay blessed, everyone. Thank you again for joining me with this lovely jewellery venture, and we'll talk soon.